Warm welcome. Let's take a look at your weather or not today. Today's topic, it is very big and wide. Its diameter is about 640 kilometers. That's a distance from Johannesburg going to KwaZulu-Natal, the city of Durban. Now, if you take a look, this island right here, this is Jamaica, and moving to the northern parts of it, we are seeing Cuba. So now, if we position this cyclone into the center of these two islands, it covers all of them completely. But good enough, it's just passing through towards the side of Cuba, and it's not covering the whole of it, and it's not even going to affect most parts of Jamaica. So what is this system, or what is this storm? Well, it is a tropical cyclone. It is rapidly rotating and characterized by a low pressure center. Tropical cyclones typically form over large bodies of relatively warm water. They are composed of strong rotating winds up to 300 kilometers for a category 5 like the one that we are having now, Irma, though it has been reduced to category 4, meaning that the wind speed is about 250 kilometers per hour or 252 maximum. Now, this has been the biggest ever, like since 1992. If you see 169 in 1992, that was Henry, and Katrina, the smallest, which we have seen so much disaster with it in New Orleans in 2005. Now, going again to Harvey, we've seen so much disaster again in Texas. Now, with Irma, we've seen so much disaster in the Caribbean islands so far, and only 17 people have lost their lives in some areas. That is a good number looking at the size of this tropical cyclone. The tropical cyclones are typically between 100 and 2,000 kilometers in diameter. And the one we're talking about is 640. Their energy source is warm ocean waters. Tropical refers to where it usually forms, like they form in the tropical regions next to the equators, and the damage mostly in the coastal regions. It is due to strong winds, flooding, high waves, and storm surges. And these are the warnings that we normally get when we get a tropical cyclone. Now, let's look at the intensity. Starting with a category 1, what we get is like some of the leaves may fall down and the trees will remain standing and our houses will remain standing. But if it is shaky, well, it may fall, but we don't expect a whole lot of disaster. Going to category 2, well, the roofs starts to get affected. There's more leaves, the weak trees starts to fall down. Going to category 3, well, it's just disaster everywhere. We expect the trees to fall down. Some of the trees may remain standing. Some of the house may remain standing and intact, but most of the houses will be affected, as you can see on the picture. Now, moving to category 4, well, I suggest you don't have to be there when this thing hits, because once it makes landfall, we expect everything to be destroyed. And remember, the maximum wind speed is about 252 kilometers per hour. Now, moving further to category 5, through the islands, the Caribbean islands, it was still category 5 with strong winds over 252 kilometers per hour, and the strongest wind that was recorded, it was over 300 kilometers, and we have seen lots and lots of disaster in those areas. Now, let's go back and look at Harvey. This is some of the disaster that we have seen. This was a category 4, but once it moved inland, it was reduced to category 2. The winds were very strong, up to 210 kilometers, and dropped to 180 the moment it made landfall. Just look at that wall. Anything that could bring that wall down, it has to be super fast. So the only thing that you can do if you are faced with a category 4 going to 5 tropical cyclone, sometimes even 3, the first thing you do is to evacuate, pack food for 3 days and lots of water, have your radio on to listen to the updates, and reduce your emissions right now, because climate change is playing a huge part in this. Now, just take a look at this picture. Nothing is left. Everything has been destroyed. The whole area looks like a lake. All trees have been cut down. Like, it's just disaster everywhere. We're seeing rubble everywhere now. Here is Irma. And if you look at this, the red part, these are the warnings, and we have watches as well over the islands of Cuba going to the southern parts of Florida and also going to affect that beautiful city of Miami, where most people like to go there for holidays. Now, this tropical cyclone currently it's sitting towards or moving towards Cuba, and we are expecting lots and lots of disaster. Still, it is reduced to category 4. So maybe it may gain some more momentum tomorrow, as it will be facing lots and lots of water heading to Miami. Now you can see all of this. It is rubble. This is due to that tropical cyclone that has just passed. And Barbuda as well. Look at all that disaster that has happened due to those strong winds. Not lots of rainfall with this one, but we are getting lots and lots of strong winds. Look at those cars. Now with a category 5, you may think that if you park your car here, you would hide it because there's this huge wall and there are other structures on the other end. But still, the cars were damaged. Now you can just see the picture, like how strong this tropical cyclone was. Look at all that water in some parts of the islands. And there isn't much that you can do. The best thing you can do is to try and evacuate. Do expect frequent and more powerful tropical cyclones. So if we had a category 6, would say, well, the next one might be category 6 because the oceans keep on being warm and the globe keeps getting warmer and warmer due to the emissions that we are producing. So what we can do is try to reduce the emissions because the globe is getting warmer and climate change remains a reality. And that is all. Ndawuyando.